Welcome, YouTube friends and family, to today's fun edition of the Wellness Homesteader. So first, let me say thank you all so much for your kind words, your understanding, your thoughts, your prayers. I'm saying that too much lately, but you all, I'm feeling 200% better. I just kind of took it easy yesterday, did like the have-to things, but not so much, anything extra. And why I still feel a little bit weak, I guess you would say. Sometimes when you empty your body of all the nutrition that you've ever thought about eating for like a week, it just takes a few days. So I may have had a bit of dehydration. I didn't feel like I did, and I was able to drink through the whole episode. I don't want to get into too much detail because y'all don't need to hear that. So, the long teased and awaited video for my 4-year anniversary. What is it? Stay tuned for a moment and you'll find out. May be wondering why my painting is out. While the mat hooked in, this is going to need to be glued. So I do have some acid-free, clear, no wrinkle, non-toxic glue, dual tip pin, the Paper Studio. I don't know if they really are making the print smaller or it's my eyes, but I have like cheaters that I can wear. But I spend more time looking for them than wearing them. So let me share a little bit about the exciting news. So Mr. Steve, and for those of you who are new who don't know who Mr. Steve is, no, he is not my boyfriend. He and his wife are just lovely people. I have known him since he was born. We all went to the same church. He's quite a bit younger than I am, just saying. And such a nice Christian fella. I trust him to really do anything I need repair-wise here. And if it's outside of his area of expertise, he will tell me. I never feel taken advantage of. And I just want to say, after my fence experience, if any of you have ever seen my jacked up fence, is that a bad word? I don't mean it bad. I paid a lot of money and was not happy with the job, and the guy disappeared, and I've never been able to get it fixed. But the fence is 23 years old, so I'll save my pennies, and the whole thing needs replaced. So there's that. So Steve has 2 sisters, both of which were in my wedding, and we went to high school together. So I've known the family, his parents and everything for years, and he had a weekend that he could come home, and I had a few things to do. I have a mole, y'all, that is, I am not violent, but I swear I'd kill it if I could catch it. So we do have a mole trap set. However, that mole is really smart, and he is tunneling now outside the chicken coop. Why, I don't know. So Steve fixed that, reset the mole trap, and he just moved over. So it's not his fault. It's a smart mole, I guess. I also have been so impressed with the Eufy cameras. I wanted to get the doorbell because my doorbell quit working. The electrical wires were no longer, the transformer part of it didn't work, and I didn't want him to have to cut a big hole in the wall. So this can be battery or hardwired. I don't think I'll ever have it hardwired again. I really don't care. But what's really nice is it has dual cameras. So when Amazon delivers and sets it at the door, it catches that. And if they take the picture and pick it back up, it catches that too, which I've never had them do it, but it catches me picking it up. So I now have 3 Eufy cameras, an ADT camera, and a Casa camera, so I should be well covered, right? So the last thing that I had asked, I had 2 fence boards that needed replaced. He did that. The last thing I asked him to do, y'all, Miss Wynonna, has the craziest hair, as does her mother. I think that's why I love her so much. And she's growing, y'all. She's gonna be a very tiny chicken. I'm anxious to see how big her eggs are, because she should start laying pretty soon. Miss Violet is still broody. But Jolene has been going into the baby coop and laying in the laying boxes, so I think she seems to be the most attached to Wynonna. So I think she's trying to teach her, you know, we poop our eggs in here. Anyway, Wynonna really needed a haircut. And one of the things about silkies is they're very prone to predators if you're letting them free range, because their hair covers so much of her eyes. So she was constantly giving me the side eye, you know, because her hair was over her face. So I hope you'll stay tuned and witness Wynonna's first haircut. Stay tuned. So it's time for Miss Wynonna's first haircut, because she can't see anything. Say hi to the people. So Uncle Steve is gonna help. Just gotta hold her wings, because she'll flap you.
Is you gonna be big girl? Yeah, I can't see your faces. Oh, I know you hate this. But you should do it. Oh, he's gonna have feathers on him. You gonna go sleep? Hmm?
Oh gosh, I'm really sorry about that. Hazard pay.
Sure. Well, let me see your eye.
Okay, that's a little bit. Let's see if we can wear a headband.
What's going on? You can see. Oh, who is it?
Okay, here we go. Ready, set, go. Okay, no. Ooh, that might be too tight on her head. Oh goodness. Okay, hold still, Mommy, get it off. It's too tight. Oh Lord. Now what have I done?
Home of the Name Your Price tool, so drivers can see coverage options at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Oh no. We don't flap our wings.
Committed to making handcrafted
I think it
mattresses
did
that
too.
help lull people to sleep and keep them sleeping soundly. More information is at SAA.
Oh no, it didn't. It's got her mouth. See? All right.
Now you're good. No headbands. I didn't give you a very good haircut, but at least you can see you've got her clothes her eyes. I love to be patted.
You're a good girl. All right. Wynonna's first hairdo. I hope you enjoyed that, y'all. Steve is a very good sport. I always say that he's Uncle Steve, you know, to the chickens. And I made the mistake of trying to put the rubber band on her like I would put a headband on. Well, all I did was close her beak and make her kind of panic. So we didn't do the top knot thing because I didn't want to stress her out too much. And she was fine after that. She didn't seem to be real, you know, stressed out by it. Let's get this in here so it can start drying, because y'all, before you know it, I want to not get that all over the glass either. It is going to be time for some fall decor, y'all. Okay, let's make sure I got that. Okay, well that was simple. I may try to put a couple books or something on that, but got that accomplished. So what I thought I would do for my 4-year anniversary is answer frequently asked questions. So I get a lot of questions privately. I get some in the chat in lives. I get some, you know, just as comments. And since we have so many new subscribers, there's probably a lot of you that are like, I wonder, fill in the blank, right? So let me just kind of go through a lot of the things that I get asked and a few that I've added because I think they're pertinent to the journey I've been on. So August 1st was my 4-year anniversary on YouTube. It has been quite an adventure, and I'm going to wrap up this video and the Q&A by talking a little bit about the pros and cons of YouTube, what I've learned, what I like, what I don't like, what to stay away from, in case you're considering having your own YouTube channel. So I do get questions. Where am I from? And why do I have somewhat of a Southern accent? Well, I've worked very hard not to have a Southern accent because I did a lot of presenting in my career, and I felt like it could be hard for people to understand. What I find is when I'm around my Southern born and raised family members, I snap right into it. I don't know, it's familiar, it's easy, but I can talk without an accent. There's a few words I struggle with, but for the most part, I was born and raised in Ohio. All of my family, my mother, my father, their parents, their siblings, all were born and raised in Eastern Kentucky and near West Liberty in Morgan County. So that is part of Appalachia. My parents grew up, both of them very poor. And my dad was very successful in the automotive industry as a tool and die maker, and then as a supervisor, retired early. They wintered in Florida. They had a really great life. And my mother didn't really have an accent anymore, but my dad sure did. He had that long Southern drawl. So I try not to do that. Another question I get is, how old are you? Well, I think I've said it like 100 times, but if you're new, you might not have found that out. I'm 63 and almost a half. Yeah, I was born in 1961. I really enjoy mid-century modern, so 50s and 60s decor. I like some of the outfits. I find that most of the clothing that I can find is more winter than summer, so that's why you don't see me a lot dressed in mid-century or styling my hair that way in the summertime. Number one, it's too hot and I'm gonna wear shorts. And I don't have any of the cute Bermudas. I do have one, like a high neck sleeveless shirt. That thing is so daggone hot. It's made of like a bulletproof polyester. Cute, but too hot to wear in the summer. So another question I actually get a whole lot is, were you ever a teacher? And the answer to that is no. I never wanted to be a teacher. I can remember as a very young child wanting to be a nurse. I can't give you an age, but that is the only thing that I ever wanted. My parents wanted me to be a secretary. Now, if y'all know me, I can't sit still long enough. Shorthand was, I dropped that class because it was total mystery to me. I mean, I can type and I can do that, but I thought, there's no way I can sit all day at a desk. Like, that is so not me. I want to be out and doing and helping, that type of thing. So my parents said that they would pay for me to go to like a vocational school or to get like a community college degree in secretarial work. And my dad said, you know, there's opportunities at General Motors for secretarial work. I'll help you get your foot in the door. And I said, no way. And they said, well, if you're going to do this nurse thing, you need to pay for it. And I did. So I started working young as soon as I was old enough to get a work permit. I don't resent that my parents didn't pay for it. I had a little bit of a scholarship and they did help me out a little bit on my senior year. I asked them as an adult with a lot of years of career behind me, I said, why were you so opposed to that? And I kind of partly knew my dad was so tenderhearted. He couldn't stand for anybody to be hurt or sick. And he could not get his head around me doing that. Like, he just thought that would be the most miserable job ever. But my mom told me, because I was 16 when I started working as a nurse aide in a nursing home. My mom said, well, we really didn't want you to see naked men. Wait, what? And you know, the funny thing is, from day one of doing that job, I saw a lot of naked people, but I never thought about them being naked. And I think most healthcare professionals, we don't see that. We see the health needs of the person, we see the person, but we don't see their body, so to speak. So I thought that was really neat. And my mother did not share that with me until, oh my gosh, she was probably in her 80s. My dad was already gone. So I found that quite amusing. I had a horrible, guys, fear of public speaking. when I would have to get up in front of people, like I do everything I could not to have to. I liked being a bedside nurse at this point in my career, so in my 30s. I would just blush and get the red itchy bumps on my neck, and I decided I needed to get through that if I was ever going to advance in my career. So when I was 34, I had an associate's degree, RN. When I was 34, I went back to school and got my bachelor's in nursing. And I took some public speaking courses. I was so nervous, y'all. I sweated and I blotched and I did all that. And we had to give 3 graded speeches, is what I remember. And by the second one, I thought, I cannot go through this feeling like I'm going to throw up. You know, your mouth gets so dry, your lip is stuck like this, right? I just couldn't do it anymore. And I asked the Lord to take that fear away, and you know what? He did. I have been blessed to speak, you know, in my career at national conferences, at international conferences, to a lot of people. And I always wanted to be well prepared, but I can honestly say I didn't shake and I was not nervous. So that's a good thing. So I never wanted to be a teacher, but sharing knowledge is such a good thing. As you're teaching and training people who want to start their own home care franchise or manage their extended care facility, whatever it might be, I felt it was valuable, and I didn't feel like a teacher. I felt like I was just sharing knowledge. I hope that makes sense. And nothing against teachers. God bless you, because the first time a kid acted up, I'd jerk a knot in their tail. I don't mean hit them. I just correct them. Sorry, y'all. It's been raining. Thank you, Jesus. We're under a fog advisory. The humidity's like 99%. It's not raining, but when you go out, you feel like it's raining. It's that wet. That's why my hair is frizzy. But I at least washed it and blew it dry. Blew a circuit because I was trying to run the portable air conditioner and the hair dryer. Not a good idea, but I was able to flip the breaker. Okay, so I get tons of questions about, do you have a special someone, you know, a gentleman in your life? Do you have a boyfriend or whatever? I'm a little bit old for a boyfriend at 63, but, and the answer to that, y'all, is no. As you all know, I was married. I've been single for 28 years. Why? I'm not against men dating, marriage. The reality of my situation was I had ill parents for 13 years. I traveled for my job, and I had a lot of health problems, and I still do. So my ability, like yesterday I couldn't do anything, you know, it fluctuates up and down, and I just don't feel like it's fair, like I have the bandwidth to do that. And so I can't even tell you how many years it's been since I've even been on a date. And if I get asked, which might be a rarity, I just say, oh, well, thank you, but I don't date. And I'm sure they think that maybe I don't like men at all, you know, I like women. That is not the case. It just doesn't seem to be the right thing for me. So do I ever get lonely? The answer to that is yes. And do I ever wish for a partner? Sometimes I do, like when I'm sick and I have to do chicken chores, you know, kind of like a handyman partner. But I don't think that's what the Lord has for me, and I'm really okay with that. So that's the scoop on dating. So I thought a lot about this one, and this is something I wanted to share. I still have the hiccups, y'all, but they're better. What would I consider my biggest success? Definitely not my career. I was successful. I had a great career. I have nothing negative to say. I think my biggest success was raising a child. I had a lot of trouble. I wanted 4 kids. I have 1, if that just gives you an idea. I won't go into the details. But I thoroughly enjoyed and still enjoy my son. I just feel like I gave a lot of my time and energy, etc., to raising him the best to my ability, and so I consider him my little success. My biggest regret, y'all, I've had a pretty mundane life. Like, I haven't done anything really crazy in my life, which is kind of a good thing. My biggest regret is not taking better care of myself, wearing out joints, wearing out my back. I couldn't have foreseen that I would have, systemic lupus and psoriatic arthritis. I did not know that. But what I do know is I've put a lot of wear and tear on my body because I enjoyed sports and skiing and jet skiing and hard projects and heavy lifting. I've always been, strong, and I kind of wore my body out. And if I knew what would happen down the road, I probably would have been a little nicer to myself. It wouldn't have changed whatever autoimmune disease I developed, most likely, but the wear and tear damage wouldn't be there. And you know what? I still am able to do almost everything I want to do, except real heavy lifting. I've kind of divested myself of that. Thank you, Mr. Steve. And Steve, thank you for letting me play your little clip. You did such a good job being Uncle Steve. So I want to wrap this up, and I want to talk a little bit about what I've learned in the last 4 years on YouTube. What's been good? What's not been so good? What mistakes did I make? What things did I do right? And any advice I would give someone considering starting their own YouTube channel. I hope you'll stay tuned. So what have I learned during my 4 years on YouTube? Y'all, it's been a great experience, and I've learned a lot about the technical aspects of formatting videos. And y'all, I apologize, the dryer's going, and this ice maker, I hope y'all can't hear it, but I imagine you can. I shut the laundry room door. Hopefully that'll keep the noise down. But I've had some rough times too, y'all. YouTube is way more than just the technical pieces of it, like how do you become an Amazon affiliate? What does it take for your channel to be monetized? I have to tell you all, I am amazed that over 7,000 people have subscribed to my channel. And I never thought that would happen. I decided to do YouTube because one of my also regrets is a lot of knowledge was lost with grandparents, that I was too young to know. Okay, this is my excuse, to know what I needed to know, because all of my grandparents that I would have learned from were gone preteen. So, that made it difficult, or maybe 13, I can't remember exactly. And that valuable information is lost. And not that I'm an expert, but I wanted to create sort of a living record for my son. So maybe when I'm not around and he has a question, because I still think sometimes, y'all, like I'll hear some news about somebody that my mom and dad knew. I think, oh, I need to call mom. It's gotten better over the last year, that's for sure, but I still do that. So anyway, I've had a lot of life changes, especially in the last year. And I've had some health challenges, like, I don't know, yesterday. But, I've had some dental work and complications. I've had kidney stones. I'm trying to think what else. Y'all, it just seems like there's been a lot of things, I think the biggest thing and the hardest thing for me was, I lost my mother. I lost my uncle, Archie. I lost a friend of 25 years. Well, shoot, this wasn't supposed to be a crying video. And then recently my aunt. So like in a year's time, it just seems like a lot of loss. But the fact of the matter is, if these people know the Lord Jesus Christ as their Savior, is the way I believe it, I will see them again in heaven. And I have to really hold to that. And I will admit, and y'all know, I've had some real ups and downs with, just so much in such a short time, and I kind of lost my mojo, y'all. You know, I had the back injury, and that still isn't great. Just being perfectly honest, I'm quite sure I need another back surgery. Not willing to do it, at least not right now. As long as I can still walk and do most things, I'm not gonna have another surgery. So I think one of the things I didn't anticipate was life will get in the way and it will impact your ability to make videos. And when I worked, I never called off sick. If I was sick, I drugged myself there, probably gave it to everybody else, but I'm not sick very often. But when you have to create content and format it and upload it and add your links and do all the things, sometimes it can be really overwhelming if you're having a lot of live events. So sometimes taking a break, refresh your mind. You know, I think I took a week off, maybe 2 in the last year. I haven't taken a lot of time off, but I did need to kind of recharge my batteries. So I think you have to be willing to give yourself grace. I think it's good if you plan ahead. I'm never ahead on videos. I don't know, guys. I'm busy. I'm a busy person, or I'd like to think I am. Harvest has kept me very busy. Not feeling well kept me very busy for a couple days. So, you know, if I was ahead, y'all see this tomorrow, and I'm filming it today, but that's okay. You know, sometimes I have to last minute things, and I'm not a last minute person. So be alert to things that might make you need to take a step back, and know, y'all, even when I've taken a step back, you know, my numbers will drop, but eventually they come back up because people, you know, have maybe many channels they watch and they think you're not doing YouTube anymore. The second piece of advice I have for you is you're gonna have to develop some tough skin. Now, I can't say I'm 100% on that thing, y'all. I do occasionally get my feelings hurt, and then I have to say, now wait a minute, those people don't know me, and their opinion is just an opinion, and if there is no, sorry guys, I'm getting a camera alert, so I wanna make sure the fox isn't out there. It's not. They don't know me, I don't know them, and their opinion is just that, it's an opinion. If there's no truth to it, you know, I don't ever mind constructive criticism, like, it would be helpful if you did A, B, and C. I'm fine with that. I'm not perfect. I'm operating from my viewpoint, and there's 7,000 other viewpoints. I get that. But if any of you were on my live I did, well, yesterday, but it would be, when you see this, it'll be day before yesterday. And I know at least one of you saw the comments. I was called a pig and ugly. Yeah. No, not by subscribers. What I have found is when you go live, you get a lot more trolls. And Cindy, thank you for your suggestion. I am going to have to put some parameters around my lives about who can comment. I haven't determined yet how to do that, but I will figure it out. A lot of big YouTubers will not allow you to comment unless you've been subscribed for, sometimes it's an hour, some have 5 minutes, you know, it's all over the place. But it will keep those people from being able to blow up your feed. Now, how I handled it was, I started getting notifications, which you all couldn't see if you were on the live, that said comment helpful review. That usually has some inappropriate content. I'll just leave it at that. So I wanted to get off before somebody slipped a comment through that would offend the good people that were on, right? So you just have to toughen up a little bit. Now, sometimes people will say things that maybe they mean to be helpful, but it's not so helpful. And I'll kind of get upset about that. But one thing to know, y'all, do not bite back, do not respond. If the comment bothers you, delete it. If it's a pattern with that person, you can mute them. Well, they'll figure out they're muted, but they don't get a notification that says you've been fired from the Wellness Homesteader, right? Sometimes you have to do that. Another thing that I've determined and figured out, there are genres, if you will, of YouTubers. So there's reaction channels, there's homesteaders, there's beauty influencers, there's decor influencers or experts, organization experts. Okay, so there's all these silos, and it can be really cliquey and it can be very cutthroat. There is a lot of competition for the YouTube crown in your genre. Y'all, have no ambition of that, but sometimes people in your genre will try to step on you, and you think, gosh, I've been watching them for like, 2 years, and I thought they were such a wonderful person, and then you find out they really aren't. So sometimes the persona that you get that comes across on YouTube is nothing like what they are in their real life. So they're putting on their YouTube face, I guess you would say. So after learning the hard way, and y'all, just so nobody gets this wrong, it is not Homestead Tessie, because Homestead Tessie has promoted my channel and has been nothing but generous and kind to me, and I have nothing bad to say about her whatsoever. And I'm not going to tell you who these channels are. I'm just going to say, be careful who you align with. Be careful who you want to collab with. Now, I've done some collabs. Charity over at Gypsy Wife Life, wonderful lady, a wonderful Christian lady. I love Miss Gay. We get along so well. And I've made a lot of really good, sincere friends. But what I want to caution you about is just know that what you see on a video may not be the person's true motives. And if you're seeing success in your channel or growth, they may want to squash you. So how do you handle that? Well, trying to reason with people who have a bad intention never comes out good. So here's my suggestion to you. Just disconnect. Block them from your channel. They'll probably block you. And stop watching them, because life is too short. There's too many good things that we can do by sharing our knowledge base on YouTube or entertaining people on YouTube. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for... Girl World has kind of blown up, y'all. I got a little bit hooked into that, and oh my word. Yeah, it's like a whole thing, right? It's like a soap opera, as my grandma called it, her stories, So that's my advice. Find your niche, stick to it, stay positive, let the negativity roll off, and be careful who you associate with. So to close this video, what are my future plans? Y'all, through my career, I had a 1, 3, 5, and 10-year plan, because you needed career plans. And I was always so focused on it. I find in retirement, I just want to enjoy life. I want to still be productive and share knowledge, but I also want to enjoy the remaining years that I have without putting quite as much pressure on myself. So as you all know, I've kind of slacked off. Don't always have 3 videos a week. Hold on, guys. And I've just decided, y'all, I'm having a hot flash. So if you wonder how old I am, there you go. Woo-hoo. Don't have those very often. It's going to be a lot more of the same. We are coming into my favorite time of the year. And y'all, I'm just going to tell you, I am so over the garden. I told my girlfriend, it was egg pickup day yesterday, and I looked rough, but I was like, yeah, I'm not going to keep people from getting their eggs. I told her, I was like, you need to come over, and whatever isn't growing in your garden, you need to pick it. It's just gone crazy. I overplanted, so next year you'll have to tell me not to. But, they'll be wrapping up of the garden. My loofah is all the way over the top of the trellis now. I've got some mini pumpkins, no big ones yet that I've seen. I've got lots of sunflowers blooming. I still have a ton of tomatoes. And I'm so sick of canning tomatoes. I'm totally over it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna gift them. because I have enough, and it would be silly to waste them, but I also don't want to fill up shelves with tomatoes that won't get eaten before they're no longer good. So we will be doing a lot of things around fall decor, fall cooking, maybe some fall crafts. If you're wondering why my chair is a mess, y'all, this is my next couple of craft projects that I'm planning. It's too early. I won't start anything fall till around Labor Day, so around September 1st, and or 2nd or 3rd. I'm trying to think of, I think the 1st is on a Sunday. Yeah, so you may not see it till the 3rd, but we'll get going on some fall things. And of course, gifts from your kitchen for Christmas, some of the usual. But I also hope to bring you some new and exciting things, maybe some new crafts, maybe some sewing projects, because I haven't done much of that. Y'all, I haven't made any Bath and Body products in months and months and months because I just kind of lost my interest, which is a silly reason, but you know, going through everything I went through with Mom, I was so busy. I was like, I just need to put my soap on hold for right now because it was stressing me out, and orders can be stressful to get filled and there's a lead time. Okay, I'll stop complaining. So lots more fun to come. I want to sincerely thank each and every one of you for all the time. A lot of you have been with me from the beginning. Somebody said yesterday, I can't believe it's 4 years. And you know, I thought maybe it's only been 3. And I look back, no, it's been 4. And it's been a good time. I know I covered some negative things, but what good have I gotten out of it? Y'all, I've made some wonderful friendships, some lasting friendships. I've enjoyed learning from you. You all have great ideas. I learn more from you than I probably share, and I really appreciate that. You pray for me. You've lifted me up during some really hard times, and I'm not gonna cry. Oh my gosh, y'all, I didn't expect to cry. So YouTube as a whole has been really good. What do I wish I knew before I started? I wish I understood that you're gonna get negative comments and the best way to handle them. And I also wish I understood about clicks and competition and being careful who you associate with, because it may not come out like you think. All right, guys, well, finally, you got to see Miss Nona, that's what I call her, get her hairs cut. I'm sure there'll be more hairdos to come. I might try to put a little rubber band on top of her head because she still looks like a crazy woman, and she's still giving me the side eye because her hair hangs over in the front, so she has to go like this. So I plan to see you all on Tuesday, Lord willing. We are due for a garden tour. I'm almost embarrassed to show you, but it's the reality of what is with all this rain. And we had the hottest July on record in Ohio since 1880. So yeah, it's pretty crazy out there, but we'll get to doing a garden tour and maybe some more food preservation. Thank you all again for your kind words, prayers, thoughts, for watching my videos, for sharing your great ideas with me. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. And until I see you again, go ahead and smash that like button and be healthy, be well, be blessed, and take care.